Hello and welcome back to RedditRead, a channel where we read Reddit stories and talk about them a little bit. No AI voices here. I read all the stories myself. And today's theme is all about coworkers. Anything coworker themed. Bad coworkers, good coworkers. I mean, it's Reddit, so they're probably all bad, let's be honest. But I'm joined once again by my co-host Kerrigan. We've all had coworkers before. We used to work together.
We did.
Back in the day.
Yeah, the good old days when we were young.
Yeah, when we were working as minors.
Yeah.
Which is always fun.
Yeah, at a bar. Bro, we would work for like 3 hours and sit in the basement for like 2 and yap.
That is correct.
Yeah, we were living life.
Before we get started, did you guys subscribe yet? If you didn't, what are you doing? Do it right now. Hit that subscribe button. Hit like down below. Comment any other topics you'd like to see. But without any further ado, let's get into our first story, which comes from Best of Redditor Updates, originally posted on askamanager.org, and then it was reposted onto Reddit on Best of Redditor Updates.
Askamanager.org is a real thing.
Yeah, it has the link to the original Ask a Manager link. So I think we're going to get responses from actual like managers because that's the whole point of Ask a Manager.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
So the title reads, an office lunch thief ate my spicy leftovers and is accusing me of poisoning them. We have a fridge at work. Up to this point, nothing I had in it was stolen. I'm quite new and others have told me that this was a problem. My food is always really, really spicy. I just love it that way. Anyway, I was sitting at my desk when my coworker came running out, having a hard time breathing. He then ran into the bathroom and started being sick. Turns out he ate my clearly labeled lunch. It was also in a cooler lunchbox to keep it cold from work to home as it's a long drive. There was nothing different about my lunch that day. In fact, it was just the leftovers from my dinner the night before. Fast forward a day and my boss comes in asking if I tried to poison this person. Of course, I denied that. I had done so. I even took out my current day's lunch and let my boss taste a bit. He was blown away by how spicy it was, even though he only took a small bite. I then proceeded to eat several spoonfuls to prove I could eat it with no problem. He said not to worry and that it was clear to him that I didn't mean any harm. My other coworkers shouldn't have been eating my food, etc., etc. I thought the issue was over. A week later, I got called up to HR for an investigation, claiming that I did in fact try to do harm to this person and this investigation is still ongoing. What confuses me is there was nothing said about this guy trying to steal my lunch. When I brought it up, they said something along the lines of, "We cannot prove he stole anything." I'm confused at this. I thought the proof would be clear. My boss is on my side, but HR seems to be trying to string me up. Their behavior is quite aggressive, even if my boss backs me up. They just ignore everything he says, as in, he would say, "That's clearly not the case," and the HR lady wouldn't even look in his direction and continue talking. On top of this, HR claims that it would be well within said coworker's rights to try and sue me. The way it was said seemed to suggest that they suggested this to him as a course of action. How can someone be caught stealing my lunch and then turn around and say I am in the wrong? I don't understand it at all. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid that I will lose my job over this. Is there any advice you can give me?
Let the dude sue you and let him lose in court.
Yeah, let him sue you.
What?
Because I think okay, so this would be like a small but it's not even over money. Like it's just not emotional, I guess.
Poisoning? Could it be like a criminal charge or something?
But that's so dumb.
I know,
dumb.
But I say let them do it so you can go to court and be like, this is my food. He stole my food that was in the fridge in my food box. Okay, my lunch box. He took it. He ate it. He threw up. And I eat this shit every day.
Yeah, I don't understand how this coworker could steal his lunch.
Yeah.
And somehow they're painting out OP to be in the wrong.
Here's the thing. I've never understood. I see so many Reddit posts where people are like, yeah, my coworker keeps stealing my lunch, so I put like laxatives in it or something. How many people out there are lunch thieves is my question.
I don't know. I've never thought of stealing somebody's lunch before. Well, because I don't eat anything, but I think even if I did eat things, I still wouldn't eat somebody else's.
One, I would be guilty because I just stole someone's food and they now have to go hungry or go buy more. I don't know if what they have is something I like. And also, I work with these people. Why would I want to steal their lunch and then have them be like, "You stealing my lunch now?" And then have a confrontation about that.
Yeah, I think what these people are doing is they're just really hungry. And when, and sometimes when you're really hungry, you just do things
I've
to
been
quench your
really
hunger.
hungry, okay, and the last thing on my mind is, I'm gonna steal my coworker's lunch.
No, but it's like, I know, I feel like what they're going through is like when you're hungry and you don't want to cook something, so you're just like, well, I'll just get like McDonald's or whatever because it's easier.
But
they're just doing it because it's easier. Like, well, this food's already here and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat it.
I don't know. It's diabolical.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right, but because it's not.
See,
but
I don't know if that's the thing though. I just think that they're so lazy and that they are just like, it's a community fridge. I don't care if this lunch is labeled and in someone else's lunchbox. I'm just gonna take it and eat it.
I don't know. This is dumb. But to sue,
what?
okay, what what? Why would HR tell him? Yeah, you can sue for this. For what?
That's what I'm like. Why is HR being like, yeah, they definitely. I feel like HR is probably putting it in the robber's head that, like, you're fine, bro. He tried to kill you.
Yeah,
like he was trying to murder you.
Yeah, you can sue him for murder. Yeah,
get him.
Oh yeah, you'll
attempted
win.
Murder.
Yep.
Attempted homicide.
Maybe they're trying to get him to sue so that he'll lose, and maybe they don't want him at this job anymore. So they're trying to get him to sue for this stupid reason.
Yeah.
So that he'll spend all this money litigating it, and then they'll
God.
fire him or something.
Yeah. See, I don't know if they can. I don't think they can fire you over that.
For stealing somebody's food?
Well, HR is clearly stating that there's no proof that he stole your food. Okay, why was he eating it then? What?
Yeah. Oh,
How
okay.
would he know my
so
food's spicy?
if there's no proof that he stole the food, then they're going on the assumption that maybe he didn't steal the food. So if he didn't steal the food, then why is OP still in the wrong? Because if he didn't even eat the food and he just got sick for whatever reason, then it has nothing to do with OP.
If he ate his own food that he brought in and got sick, then he is. How do they have proof that OP tried to poison the food?
They don't.
Oh my God,
They don't have proof. Neither of their stories that make sense.
I know. We're poking the holes. They're saying OP tried to poison coworker.
Mm-hmm.
And OP's like, well, that was my food, so he stole my food. And HR's like, we have no proof that he did that. But we clearly have proof that you poisoned his food.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't.
I
It
just feel
doesn't.
like okay, how about this? I think the coworker is fucking someone in HR.
I thought, okay. Okay, I thought you were talking about OP. Okay, so the guy who stole the food.
Yeah, I believe he's probably fucking someone in HR. So that's why they're backing him up. Or like he's like the office clown and they're like, we like him. We want to keep him.
Okay.
You can go. I just have one question though. Why is this person posting it on Ask a Manager?
Well, because he's asking, is there like anything I can do?
Why are you asking managers though? Wouldn't you want to go to like HR?
Well, his HR is like,
I know, but
this
like
is his HR.
He should go to Ask HR.
I actually think that is a subreddit, Ask HR, but this was back in 2016. So I don't even know when Reddit started.
Reddit's old.
I think it is, isn't it?
I think Reddit's old.
Oh my God, 2005. It started the same year YouTube started. It's as old as me.
Bro, I'm older than
You're
Reddit.
older than Reddit.
No, take it back. Take it back.
I'm also older by a few months, but so this is the actual response from the manager that responded to this on askamanager.org. They said, "What? This makes no sense. You were allowed to enjoy an unusually high level of spiciness, and as a fellow spice enthusiast, I commend you for it. You are not required to make sure that your own personal lunch doesn't contain anything that might offend a coworker's palate, as your coworkers should not be eating your food without any invitation. The only way their stance could possibly make sense is if they're alleging that it wasn't your lunch at all and that it belonged to your coworker and you secretly dumped a toxic level of spice into it. Is that what they're saying? Because otherwise, this is bizarrely illogical. And what's your coworker saying in all of this? Is he trying to claim that it was his lunch all along? In any case, I think the way to handle this is to go a bit on the offensive, which is warranted based on how aggressive HR is being. I'd go back to them, possibly to the boss of the person you spoke with earlier if that's an option, and say this. I'm extremely concerned by what's been said about this. The food in question was my personal lunch brought in for me and me only. The spiciness of my food shouldn't be anyone's concern, and I'm distressed that I'm being accused of in any way intending harm towards someone else because of what I pack in my personal lunch. I take my professional reputation very seriously, and I'm concerned that this bizarre story is impacting it. I'd like your assurance that the company does not intend to penalize me for eating spicy food at lunch. I'd also put a similar message in writing and email it to them to document our conversation from earlier today. Sometimes ridiculous people back down when they see that you take standing up for yourself seriously. I'd also ask your boss what the hell he thinks is going on. Does he think you have anything to worry about? If he's confident that you don't, and if his judgment is usually pretty good, then I suppose you can just let HR's weird spiciness policing play out and ignore it as best you can. Your company's HR is terrible. So that was the manager's response.
I love that. That's like we need to go on Ask a Manager more, because Reddit would not be that.
Yeah, they would not.
They would not be that.
They'd be like, oh, well, you should kill him.
Yeah, go in and kill everyone in your company.
That's probably what they'd say.
They'd be like, no, you should actually go poison his lunch.
Yeah, what are you doing? You should have poisoned him.
Yeah, you should have done that. They'd probably say something like, put your lunch in the fridge again, extremely, extremely spicy with like rat poison, and see if he eats it, like they.
Yeah, that's what Reddit would have said. So very grounded response from an actual manager there. So there's an update to this.
Ooh.
So, well, I read the first sentence already. Doesn't sound good.
They're fired.
I ended up being fired by HR. As she said, there was enough of a case to get rid of me before the top boss came back. I consulted a lawyer who sent a letter to the company informing them that I was considering legal action. The letter contained the reasons for doing so and an account of what happened. 1 week later, I got a call from a guy who owns the company asking me to come back with an apology. Both the HR woman and the thief have been let go. He also gave me a very generous raise. I assumed to gloss everything over. I accepted and am now back at work. As much as I hate to go based on office talk, it seemed that the HR woman and the food thief may have been romantically involved. Didn't you say that?
I literally said he's fucking someone in HR.
Yep. They were seen a lot outside of work together, etc. So I assume it was her protecting him. She may have believed him and thought I was trying to frame him or something. Who knows? I doubt I will get an answer now. Right now, I'm working in the previous position with almost double my paycheck, so it's a great turnaround. The boss also opened more doors for me, offering different training courses that I'll be paid for. It's obviously to keep me happy and stop me from taking legal action, but what more could I ask for? Something unreasonable happened and it's been more than corrected. I'd be happy with just having my job back. I'd rather have not gone through the whole thing, though, at all. I just hope I never have to experience this kind of thing ever again. I don't really have a support group, so was on the edge of losing my apartment, etc. Anyway, thanks for the advice. I had nowhere to turn.
That is honestly the best ending.
Wow.
Like, this is amazing. I think this is great.
Yeah, she turned somebody eating their food into them getting fired, then getting asked to come back with almost a double raise. And the two people that were involved in this got fired.
Yeah.
Seems like a win to me.
Yeah, literally. And they're investing in their career growth by letting them do more training that they're paid for.
Now
that's fire.
That is probably only because she said she was going to sue them. But
hey, a win's a win. A win's a win.
Yeah, I mean,
would you rather be jobless or work at a place where you get double the pay?
Because this still is good though, because so she would have had to pay a lawyer to send that letter or whatever. So she had to pay a lawyer once to get double paycheck.
Yeah, literally. That's a great ending. I was expecting worse,
Yeah.
When you said she was fired, I was like, oh nah.
I was like, no way. These people are gonna win. I'm like, that's terrible.
I would smear campaign the company.
Would you come back after this whole thing happened? Would you accept the offer to come back?
See, my thing is if the only people who were betting against me was HR lady and the thief, right? If everyone else was on my side, I would come back. But if if like half the company was angry at me, like was like, oh my God, I can't believe you tried to kill Jeff in accounting. How dare you? And then you got Jeff fired and our favorite HR lady, and then I wouldn't come back.
Even with double the pay, basically.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I come back and then everyone's stealing my lunch.
Well.
Or I get really mean emails and it makes me feel bad. Actually, you know what?
I'd take that for double the pay.
You know what? Fuck everyone. I would take it too, and I'd come back and I'd be like, haha, bitches, I'm back. Suck it up. And I get more money than you.
Well, yeah.
And they're trying to promote my ass.
Yeah, because then the thing is, you can act like a bitch to everyone and just get away with it because you threaten to sue them. So
I got the owner of this whole company on my side, guys. Get away from me.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't seem like the case here though, because it sounds like even like their boss was on their side. It was just the person who did the stealing in the HR, because they were fucking.
Yeah,
so
well, they were.
Should workplaces install cameras near shared refrigerators? No, they should get one of those. They should get one of those Samsung fridges that have the cameras in them.
Oh my God!
Because it'd be so funny to have the footage of him, like the doors closed from the inside of the refrigerator, of him opening the door.
You know what they?
He's like, no, I didn't do it. Then they pull up this footage and it's him opening.
You know what they need? They need a Ring camera on the fridge.
On the fridge
that detects motion. No, inside the fridge. So when you open it, the Ring camera turns on because it starts recording. It detects the motion. So then you can see what's in the fridge and you can see what they're taking or putting in the fridge.
He would have been caught in 4K if they had a Ring in the fridge.
Yeah, and then they see him running out, fucking hurling because of the spice.
I'm just imagining you get like a notification on your phone that says motion detected in the fridge. So good ending there, but that's not what I want to see.
Yeah, we want to see blood, sweat, tears.
I want someone to die. So
I want a cheating scandal.
Well, I think your wish is going to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because the title of this one reads, "My employee started a false rumor that two coworkers were having an affair."
Oh my God, the juice.
So that one originally comes from askamanager.org. Again, posted on Best of Reddit Updates. So it reads, "I'm a manager of a handful of frontline managers. One manager in particular, let's call her Emily, approached me the other day to tell me that one of the receptionists, Jane, came to her office and told her there was a rumor going around the office that Emily was potentially having an affair with a new male coworker, John. Jane then told Emily in no uncertain terms that she expected the behavior to stop, the behavior being that they joke around with each other. Emily immediately began to investigate where the rumor was coming from and found it actually originated with Jane. She went through a rough couple of days when she just felt completely blindsided and sick about the whole thing. She's happily married and so is John. I've seen them interact many times, and it's only ever seemed like two colleagues who banter back and forth together. I've never seen or heard anything that would raise concern. I have worked with Emily and John for a long time, and their character is above reproach. I'm not concerned at all that there's anything to this rumor. Jane has been at the center of office gossip before. In fact, before she was concerned that Emily and John were having an affair, she felt like another coworker and John were getting too close. I have heard for the last few months that Jane feels she would be a better manager than Emily, and I wonder if this is her way of trying to get rid of Emily. I have never wanted Jane to be a manager. She has never shown in her attitude and behavior that she would be good at it, so she isn't on my radar when it comes to any kind of succession planning. I plan on speaking with Jane about unprofessional behavior and the company policy about not gossiping, and I plan on giving her an official warning on the subject. Is there anything else I can do? How should I word my conversation with her? And can I, in the same conversation, tell her that she will never be a manager under my downline, or would that just be piling on?"
Okay, I need to lay this out here. Jane is the receptionist. Jane goes to Emily, her manager, and says, I heard a rumor that you and John are having a possible affair. You two need to stop joking around.
Okay.
And then we come to find out that Jane is the one who started that rumor.
Right. Okay.
So Jane came to Emily, said, there's a rumor, you're fucking John. I feel like this is how I'm interpreting. I feel like Jane came in like mama mode of like, you need to stop fooling around with this man.
Yeah. Well, we don't know how old these people are because I was imagining Jane is like younger than Emily. So that
I
would,
picture Jane some like middle age.
you think she's okay. So you think
Yeah.
she's older.
I feel like she's older. I don't know. I feel like most receptionists tend to be on the older side,
I'm interested. What was the advice from the manager?
Yeah, literally.
Oh, this is from the same manager as the last post, Allison Green. Well, let's see what Allison says. She said, "What's up with Jane's creepy concern about John's work relationships? It would be bad enough if this had only happened with Emily, but it happened with another coworker too. John must be feeling awfully uneasy about Jane's agenda, whatever it may be. In telling Emily that she expects the behavior to stop, that is an interesting or alarming understanding of her authority over other people's relationships. So yeah, you need to shut this down hard and look at whether there are other problems with Jane too, because it's rare for something like this to be unaccompanied by any other problems. If you look closely at Jane's approach to work and work relationships, you're likely to find other issues too, to the point that you might consider whether she's someone you want to keep on your team at all. But even if Jane were an otherwise excellent worker, it's a big enough one that the conversation needs to be a very serious one, especially since there's now a pattern of this behavior. I don't think you'll need to be explicit that she'll never be a manager under you. It risks starting to feel personal, but you can use very serious language to communicate how unacceptable her actions are and to tell her this is a final warning. I'd say it this way. I don't tolerate gossip about people's personal lives on this team. The sort of rumor you've spread can cause real destruction in people's lives, and it creates a toxic environment for people to work in. Both times when you did this, you were wrong about the gossip you were spreading. But even if you have been right, it's none of your business, and I don't want that kind of toxicity here. I'm seriously concerned about whether you'll be able to repair your relationships with the people you gossiped about and whether you understand how we do and don't interact with each other here. It's given me serious pause about your judgment, and it's going to take a lot of work to rebuild my trust in you. Not to mention the trust of the people you've harmed, to the point that I need to question whether I can keep you on our team. Frankly, I'd also add, I'd like you to think about whether you can commit to never repeating this in the future and then come back and tell me your decision. For you to stay on this team, I need to know this will not happen again, and I need to know your plan for repairing the damage this has done to your work relationships. If her actions seemed more akin to idle gossip, I'd skip this. It would be too heavy-handed, but when you have reason to think she's targeting Emily out of professional jealousy, I just want to drive the point home. I'd also check in with Emily and John about what they might need in order to continue working with Jane. They don't get carte blanche here. They can't demand she get a pay cut or move her desk to the basement and so forth, but it's worth exploring whether there's something that would help put them put this to rest. Plus, in having those conversations, you might learn things you don't already know. Maybe Jane has been creeping John out in other ways or sabotaging Emily's projects or who knows what. So talk to them as well.
This Allison girl, can she be my manager? Wait a minute.
Yeah, she's like...
She seems like she's
down to business.
Yeah, she knows this business. Holy shit. I feel like she sounds like she would be a very firm and strict manager, but also would make sure shit gets done.
Yeah. I hope OP actually does this because telling her, you need to make a decision if you're going to commit to this, and you come back and tell me. That's such a power move.
Next thing you know, she's going to make rumors about OP's. OP's fucking Emily, bro.
That's going to be like,
and John.
Okay, you're done. Bye.
Yeah, you're out. I like a good gossip. I feel like everyone likes a good gossip.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this kind of gossip, bro.
Well, she's just making up stuff.
Yeah, like fake, no business, possibly just out of retaliation because you want to be manager is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy work.
Some people are just so bored they have nothing else to talk about. Then
then
they just make up stuff.
I wonder how many people in like the office like take Jane serious.
Probably not.
You know, like when you get to the point of when you know someone and you know they're a gossiper, it kind of gets to the point where you're just like, wow, really? Wow.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, can't believe that.
Yeah, Jane's like, come here. And you're like, what? And she's like, I think Emily and John are fucking. They're married.
Really?
Like, okay, why? Immediately, what? Why do you think that?
So the update on the website is, the update is titled False Affair Rumor, the Coworker Ripping Artwork Down, and More.
What? Did she go on a rampage? Was she angry and destroying the building?
Oh, no.
Aww.
Never mind. The Ask a Manager post was a bunch of updates from different stories. So just the first one was, okay, so all those were updates to other stories.
Aw.
Okay, so just the update to this one.
Dang.
Sorry, I just edged you all. I'm sorry.
Bro, I literally was so excited. Just dried up, bro.
That was a bad choice of words. Anyways, the update for this one is when Emily told me what happened, I did ask how she wanted to handle it. We discussed our options and decided it was just time for Jane to go. She had gossip issues in the past that she was disciplined for. We knew it would take a bit of time to manage her out, but that was the plan. Because this was urgent, I spoke to Jane the very next day and said similar things to what Allison recommended. I don't interact daily with Emily's team as I have other locations I am responsible for, but I have a reputation for generally being easygoing. I think when I spoke to Jane, she was surprised at how matter-of-fact and assertive I was. There was no friendly banter. I told her that what she had done was completely unacceptable and that her behavior would not be allowed in the office. I discussed with her how rumors of this nature can destroy reputations and careers, and Emily and I can no longer trust her. I did tell her that she had a long uphill battle of gaining trust back in this office and that all the effort in the world may never result in trust being restored. She was upset at this point, not angry, which is what I expected, but she was crying, not at all what I expected. I asked her if she thought she felt she could earn back the trust that was broken and if she felt she could move forward. She said she had been looking at other jobs and said that maybe she should quit. I told her that would be up to her, but I encouraged her to do so. She decided that would be best. I wasn't interested in having her work her last 2 weeks, so I had her write a letter of resignation. Let her gather her things, and that was that. I did process her out as though she gave 2 weeks so she wouldn't lose all her vacation time that we pay out when proper notice is given. I thought for sure she would be combative in the meeting, and I thought she would argue with me. I was surprised by the outcome, but glad I didn't have to go through the couple-week process of managing her out officially. I found out Jane got a new job a couple weeks later as a manager. Maybe someday Ask a Manager will get a letter from one of her new team members about their less than stellar boss. Oh. No one ever called to ask for a reference, so let that be a lesson. After a couple months, we heard from another staff member that Jane was telling people how angry she was, that when she said she would quit, that we didn't try to talk her out of it. She didn't understand why we just let her go.
You're a bitch. End of the story.
So this isn't the first time she had done that. She had already been disciplined for it in the past.
And then now she's a manager somewhere?
She's a manager somewhere
Luck,
else.
McDonald's.
Yeah, that's just straight up making up stuff about people just for what? Like what is the gain?
I know. You know, it's not even fun then. Like, it has to be real gossip.
Yeah, like gossip's only fun because it's real.
Yeah, if you're just making up stuff, like, oh, okay.
It's like
there's nothing to talk about then.
Yeah, it's like these stories. Like you have to go under the pretense that it's real because if everything on Reddit was fake, it's like, well, that's no fun then.
Yeah,
because you know it's not real.
I want to know that people are actually experiencing these things.
Right.
It makes me feel better about my life.
Yeah. So talking about gossip that didn't actually happen is just
where's
dumb.
The fun in that? Because it's not like new developments will happen. You know? Okay, maybe it starts out and everyone's like, oh, maybe it is real, and then they just see Emily and John go back to their happy family and living life away from each other. Then it's like, oh, so they aren't having an affair. Yeah, so then it's like boring because then it's like there's no juice. It's not still seeping out, you know? It's just not there.
Boring.
Yeah.
Boring. She's a terrible gossiper.
Yeah.
I mean, we're professional gossipers and she is.
We just beat dead horses, actually. Repeatedly, like so bad that the horse doesn't exist anymore.
Hey guys, sorry, that might have been a weird cut. We went on a very long tangent about like detective interrogations. I don't remember what the last thing we were talking about was, but we're moving on to the next story. So this one comes from Best of Reddit Updates, which originally posted on two subreddits, Am I the Asshole and Coworker Stories. Title reads, Am I the asshole for telling my coworker to stop buying me gifts? Original post is from January 20th of 2026. I, 18-year-old woman, started at a new job in October. My coworker, 27-year-old male, well, asshole.
Yeah, immediate creep, asshole. Get him out of here.
All right, next story.
Yeah.
Okay, my coworker, 27-year-old male, immediately started talking to me my first day there. I would talk to him in group settings, but he would always try to get me to go with him to his car for breaks, etc. After about a week of me working there, he started bringing me Starbucks in the morning and even packing me lunch. After 3 weeks, he had planned an entire date to go get dinner and ice cream. I had told him I did not want to go and I would only like to be friends at work, and he said he understood. He kept bringing me lunch and buying me food, but I just kept it friendly and professional and never went anywhere with him alone. Flash forward to December and my battery had died at work. I had asked him to jump it. He absolutely had no idea what he was doing, if I'm being honest. And on my way home, I quite literally caught on what? Oh, it quite literally caught. I was like, you caught on fire?
Oh my God.
Okay. And on my way home, it quite literally caught on fire and he gave me $400 the next day. I never said it was his fault or blamed him, but like, I don't know. I tried to refuse the money and then afterwards told him I really do not want him to be giving me money or buying me things really at all because I feel like it's something that can be held over my head. He said it's not like that and he does this for all of his friends. Then on Christmas, he shows up to work with Uggs and AirPods, both very expensive things. He said it was because he felt bad about the car and he was trying to make up for the things that I have lost. But I've never said that I lost Uggs or AirPods in the car because I've never even owned Uggs or AirPods.
Oh
I don't know.
God.
It's like she has an Android. She doesn't even have an iPhone. Then I explained to him again that I only wanted to be friends and that all of these gifts and everything was just too much for me and I just don't like it. And he said again that he understood and he was worried that I would think that, but he doesn't want anything with anyone. And then he's been talking to other coworkers about the situation. He doesn't understand why I brought it up because he knew that I just wanted to be friends and everything. And he's just making things awkward with other people that work. And I just don't know if I'm in the wrong. I still have the gifts, but I don't know. Am I the asshole?
No, girl, you're not the
Asshole for what?
telling him that she doesn't want gifts. She probably feels, and this is, I'm a woman. I understand. She probably feels like, and this happens a lot, like you basically feel like you have to cater to the men around you. So she probably just feels bad rejecting this guy's gifts because he's consistently saying, I know you just want to be friends. I want to get you these really expensive gifts, though. So she probably just feels bad in a way because she's like, I think I'm wrong because I'm not accepting his gifts because I take it as he wants to be more, but he's saying he doesn't want to be more. This guy wants to be more, is all I'm saying.
Well, clearly, like...
So I feel like she somehow has gotten into the cycle that a lot of girls do of they feel bad for rejecting a man's advance.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that's what, because I'm like, how could you even ask yourself, am I the asshole for telling him that I don't want his dumbass gifts?
Yeah. Well, okay, listen, cut this from the video. That's how I felt. I felt bad rejecting that bitch. Because it was like, damn, this poor dude. But it's also like, I don't like him. You can keep that in, but censor that shit out.
Yeah, I'll censor the name. I'll even put a blur over your mouth so you can't even like read lips.
Like it's like you feel bad because it's like they'll sit. It's like the censor that word. Censor that word. I mean, I can even talk about. He bought me those things. I was like, I don't want to be anything with you, but you're getting me these gifts. So it's almost like you feel bad because it's like, okay, this guy has gotten me things, right? Because they clearly like me and they know my stance is we're only friends. But it's like you feel this guilt of rejecting them almost because it's like.
But I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to guilt you into like dating them.
So like this guy. But it's like common for that. I feel like it's pretty common for women to experience something like that where you almost feel like you're in the wrong for saying no to a guy. So I totally get where she's coming from. You're not the asshole, girl. You're innocent.
Yeah,
you're 18 and he's 27.
That's the other thing. She is 18 and this guy is 27.
That is a predator right there. How many other girls does he talk to that are young is my question.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, it's legal, I guess, but is it weird as fuck?
Well, what do you, as someone who's almost 30, have in common with someone who just got out of high school?
It's I feel like it's a power dynamic. They want to have power over the younger person.
Yeah, because no one their age can put up with them. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah,
or what it is like they think that people around them are too mature.
Yeah, which just means that they're not grown up.
Yeah.
But they're not mature enough to realize that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so she said on the first day, she would talk to him in group settings, but he would try to get her away from the group to go to his car. That is extremely creepy.
That is. In a group setting.
Being like, yeah, come with me to my car.
You want to escape this group setting we're in and go to my car that's parked under the only street light that's turned off? The only yellow street light?
Well, I mean, this is probably during the day because it's at work, but...
Well, it's like in December, right? So if they're in the Midwest, it's dark when you leave work.
Oh, yeah, that's true. She's not the asshole, obviously. This guy is creepy as hell. We'll see what happens, though, because there's an update from a month later, February 18th, 2026.
So this is recent.
Yep. So they say, hi, everyone. So I genuinely was not going to post an update about this because the situation had honestly calmed down. He had not talked to me or anything since I confronted him about everything and had kept my distance. I definitely took into consideration everything that you guys had said. Number one, I did not give the gifts back. He wasn't talking to me and I was not going to initiate that. Number two, I had talked to my HR and they are pretty much not going to do anything. I've switched to part-time and am looking for a new job. Now the reason I'm updating is because yesterday I got a message from a random number. I'm going to paste it here, but star out the name. Uh-oh.
Jesus.
Hey, it's blank. I got your number off the work app. I'm sorry about everything. I wanted to hit you up sooner, but I didn't want to bother you. Honestly, I miss hanging out with you and hearing you laugh and talk about whatever was on your mind. It was one of the best parts of my day. It bums me out how things went down, but I just wanted to thank you for being an awesome friend. I miss you and I hope you're doing well. When I got this message, I was extremely creeped out and concerned considering the fact that we do not have a work app that shows our numbers and considering just everything that was said in that message in general. We were never close like that. We hung out in a group setting on breaks at work only. I have taken this message to my HR, but they are not doing anything. What do I do now? I responded to him and blocked his number and will paste that message at the end of this. I don't think there's really anything else I can do until I find a new job. Wow.
I got your number off the work app.
That actually doesn't show numbers.
Get the hell off my line.
That's insane. Okay.
That's like like when guys are like, you didn't give me your number, so I asked your friend for your number.
Yeah, that's
Next thing you know, he's gonna show up at your place or start sending you mail. He either knows he's being weird or he genuinely has no clue that what he's doing is like creepy.
I mean, some guys are that clueless.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if a girl is avoiding you at work and is not speaking to you, you getting her number off anywhere is creepy. You texting her, acting like you guys had some crazy friendship is even insane. After like 2 months of working together.
I mean, just in general, getting anyone's number from somebody who's not them is not something you should be doing.
No, you shouldn't be proud of that.
Okay, I forgot to read something here. So it was her reply to his message.
Oh, nice.
She said, I thought we already cleared this up. I'm not interested in being friends. Things got uncomfortable for me, and I didn't feel like your only intention was friendship. The age difference in the gifts made it feel weird to me, and this message honestly made me uncomfortable. Don't reach out to me again.
Hell yeah, girl.
I mean, even if there wasn't this age gap, it would still be weird. That she's clearly not interested in him and he just won't give it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she said multiple times, I don't like you giving me gifts. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to be anything more with you. And you're still reaching out to her. Give up, bro. Give up.
Yeah, so, some guys just don't know when to quit. They either keep doing stuff like this, they don't know when to quit, or like if a girl rejects them, they'll be like, what?
Yeah.
You're acting like a bitch.
You're a whore anyway. I didn't want to you.
Like, fucking skank.
Okay. well, you're a pedophile, basically.
Yeah.
Realistically, let's look at it that way.
And also this, okay, what are these HR people? They're not doing anything about this. And she's she's basically having to quit her job because of this guy. And they're not doing anything about it.
I think that's so crazy. HR should do something. At least just talk to him and be like, you can't do this.
At the very least.
So it's super weird. He's fucking someone in HR.
You know what? Probably. One of the HR people is probably another 18-year-old girl.
Somehow got right into HR.
Okay, I'm trying to find, because she said in the comments that she would keep us updated. So like, where is that update?
Where's the update?
There's no other updates.
She's kidnapped.
Yeah, the guy kidnapped her.
Girl, get on Reddit and update us right away.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, who cares about what's actually going on in your life? Just update us.
We are invested. We need to know.
Exactly. This is clearly more important.
Yeah. Screw getting a job. Update Reddit.
So she didn't return the gifts. Do you think she should have returned the gifts to the guy?
I feel one in two ways. One, I think I would just reject the gifts. If she did reject the gifts and say, I don't want them, and he still like forced them on her, I would just take them then. Because it's easier than trying to fight this battle with him of giving the gifts back. But if I could just say, no, I don't want them, and he would just back off immediately, I would do that. Even if I had to go take them off my desk, I don't want them. I would do that.
I think, listen, I'm terrible for this, but I would accept the gifts. I would accept whatever he's going to give me. I would just milk this guy. I got to be completely honest with you. I would
sugar daddy him.
Yeah, I would be like, look, if you want to give me gifts, yeah, give me gifts. I would endure the like harassment
just to get
it's just so bad, but I would just to get the gifts from him. And like, if he's going to pay me $400 because my car got set on fire or whatever, like if he's going to send me money and give me gifts, you know, I'll $20. Listen,
if he said, I have a gift for you, you have to come to my car, would you go to his car?
Probably. If I'm being completely honest, yes, probably.
And it's parked out back, no street lights. It's a white van.
Well, if the guy's hot, listen, I have the I have the luxury of being able to maybe do that because I'm not a woman.
Oh.
But
I mean, yeah. I would not. If a guy was doing that to me, it's immediately like, I get flashbacks. It's like, shut it down. Stop.
Yeah, because I put myself in situations that are probably like, that could have gone really badly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go badly because I have, you know, like I said, like I have the luxury of not being a 18-year-old woman.
Yeah.
You know, I understand why a woman would not want to do that, but me personally, I probably would. Just, you know, because if he's going to give me stuff, I would sell his gifts to get money from them.
Oh my God.
That's what I would do.
We need to start sending you to these workplaces. You need to start intercepting these gifts.
Listen,
you know what you need to do? You need to turn these straight guys gay and ruin their life. Like, make them fall in love with you. They're giving you gifts and stuff. And then once they start making true advances, they're like, they come out to you and stuff. You immediately have to ruin their life.
I wouldn't. Okay.
You immediately have to be like, I don't like men.
Okay.
You're gay?
I wouldn't do that because then you're giving it up. Then you're not going to get any more gifts.
Do it at the end. You know, like they've come out. Okay, be supportive when they come out. And then when they really start like wanting some sugar, cut it off.
But I'm okay with that. I'm like,
you're okay giving the sugar?
Yeah, fuck.
What
if
if
you're
he's
gonna pay me,
chopped?
I don't care if you're gonna pay me. I don't give a fuck.
You're better than me.
I don't give a fuck what you look like. If there's money
what if
involved,
there's like cheese?
Listen, there's a price for anything.
No. Julie, we're sending you into these workplaces to ruin creepy men's lives. That's a benefit. You benefit for a little bit and then you ruin their life and you move on to the next victim.
Well,
you don't collect sugar daddies.
Well,
that was the whole plan.
I'll ruin their lives right before they're about to die so that I can take advantage of them for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Because in the long run,
or until they turn poor.
The longer you take advantage of them, the more you're ruining their lives.
Yeah, because you're wasting their time.
And their money and giving it to me instead. So in the long run, it benefits me and the goal of ruining their lives if I just keep it up forever.
God, maybe I am a Scorpio. I'm over here like, we're going to ruin their lives. And you're like, I just want the money. I'm I'm saying the cruelest things. Yeah, when they come out, you ruin them. You say you're not gay. You make fun of them. All this stuff.
And I'm like, but how am I going to keep extorting money from them?
Money.
We're both bad in different ways.
Yeah, you're in it for the money. I'm in it for the revenge.
Anyways, on to our next story, which is posted on Best of Reddit Updates. Originally posted on Ask a Manager. Again.
Damn, that site's coming in clutch.
This one's kind of long, so I'm not going to read the manager's response, but I did skim through this one, and it seems pretty crazy by the end. So the title reads, HR won't do anything about a coworker who's angry about my weight loss. So original post, February 8th, 2023. I just came back to work after a month-long emergency medical leave. The TLDR is that after a decade of medical gaslighting, a new doctor ordered an emergency MRI during a routine visit and discovered a mass in my abdomen. I was rushed into surgery within 24 hours. I ended up having an 18-pound benign tumor pressing on my vital organs, and I was about a week away from multiple organ failure. I'm lucky to be alive, and time will tell if I have any lasting organ damage, but right now everything is fine. Mentally, I'm struggling with a few things, but the only outwardly noticeable impact is that I've gone from a size 20 to a size 8. Nobody on my medical team anticipated a change this drastic, but I'm healthy and lucky. I was expecting to get a lot of questions from coworkers because the curiosity exists. I had a basic emergency surgery, but I'm fine now answer to almost everyone except one coworker who I hardly speak to, Aubrey. On my first day back to work, Aubrey came up to me and said, I wish you had come to me to lose the weight instead of resorting to such drastic measures. You're going to gain it all back, you know. I'll be waiting. I was aware of Aubrey's reputation, but since we never worked together, I didn't think it would be an issue. She's one of those people who thinks they're a fitness expert and calls herself a health coach. Nothing to do with the company we work for. She has a reputation for giving out unsolicited and incorrect health advice and is always commenting on people's food choices. I was speechless when she asked why I opted to get butchered instead of putting in hard work to lose weight. There's nothing wrong with someone choosing surgical weight loss options, but that's not what happened to me, and I really resented her aggressive attitude / spreading rumors. During my second week back, she came by my office and at the end of the day in athletic gear offering to go with me if I was too afraid to go back to the gym alone. I wasn't even cleared to lift my kid, do laundry, or climb a flight of stairs, let alone go to the gym with this crackpot. I don't remember what I said to her, but she left saying I'd gain the weight back because I'm lazy. The next day, Aubrey ranted angrily about me in a meeting I wasn't in, missed it for a follow-up, ironically. I don't know everything that was said, but the gist was that if I can't dedicate myself to weight loss, I obviously can't see my work obligations through. HR called for a red flag mediation. At our company, mediation can go against your bonus opportunities for the year. I have no idea why I'm in mediation when she's the one being an asshat. At the mediation, Aubrey stated that she was triggered by my new body and I should have thought of other people's feelings and warned her before my surgery. I hardly had time to warn my husband and get my kid out of daycare. I don't owe Aubrey anything. I have empathy that she's obviously struggling, but that does not excuse her behavior. HR said that while they can't ask me to explain my medical history, it might clear the air if I told her what kind of surgery I had and why. I said I wasn't obligated to share my medical information with anyone and that Aubrey having bad coping skills doesn't entitle her to a coworker's personal health information. Their response was kind of, well, then we can't stop her from bullying you. After Thanksgiving, my doctor helped me put in an ADA accommodation paperwork so I could work from home. I was having some mild complications from surgery, but also to avoid Aubrey. This company hates remote work, so they're really not happy. Aubrey still emails me workout videos and diet plans, and when I forward them to HR, their response is, noted. Do you know when you're coming back to the office?
Nah.
I've been thinking about escalating this to corporate with an employment lawyer. Is that overkill? I'm still in a sensitive place after my surgery, and I have no energy for this, especially since Aubrey is fixated on weight loss, which was the primary way doctors gaslit me for years. I've been with this company for 5 years, and I'm just exhausted and disappointed in how they're handling this, and I want it over yesterday.
Can I give a hot take? I know you don't want to share your medical history. I would, though. I'd be like, bitch, I had an 18-pound tumor that almost killed me.
Yeah, but she should share it, but only yelling it in her face like you just did.
I don't think she should sit down and be nice about it. I think she should literally, I'd send her a picture of the tumor. I would be like, can y'all send me the tumor? I'm going to forward it to her house.
Look at this.
Yeah. Like, I would, nah. See, I agree. You don't have to share your medical history. And I understand that some people don't want to. This bitch made one mean comment to me. I would have been like, I actually almost died and I had a huge tumor that almost killed me and I had emergency surgery for it. I didn't have weight loss surgery. And then if she kept pushing it, then I would beat her up in the parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, realistically, I think all she had to say to get her to shut up was, I had a tumor.
Mm-hmm.
And if she still keeps going on about it after that, then it's...
Yeah, and I agree. It sucks that HR won't do anything now, but I feel like HR would do something if you told her, which isn't wrong. It is completely wrong that HR is not doing anything now, and insinuated that the only time they would do anything is if you told her why.
Well, they didn't even say that. They said, well, it might clear the air
Yeah.
if you just tell her.
Yeah.
They didn't say that they would do anything about
Well,
it.
I thought they kind of, I felt like they implied that, because she said that they said to her that if she won't tell her, like, well, then she's just going to bully you and we can't stop her from bullying you because you won't tell her why. So I feel like they would kind of do something if she told her. Because HR, which is dumb, is probably seeing it as, well, Aubrey doesn't know that you had this horrific thing happen to you. So she's just trying to be helpful. So if she knows that you had this horrific thing happen to you and it wasn't necessarily you having weight loss surgery, well, then we can be like, you're bullying her now. Like, I feel like that's HR's twisted view on this, which again is horrific.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's... I really don't know if in this situation, if telling her would even make a difference here. I'm really not. Because I feel like if HR is already willing to be like, yeah, well, we can't do anything about it, then telling her, I don't think is really going to change anything. It might get Aubrey to just shut up, but I don't think it would make HR feel any more obligated to do something about it.
Yeah.
You don't owe your medical history to anyone. You don't really owe anything to anyone, like, especially someone that you just, like, work with. It's like, you don't need to know stuff about my personal life.
Yeah.
So, I think HR should be like, stop asking her about her personal life. She doesn't want to tell you about it. She doesn't have to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Go away. Get out of my office.
Yeah,
Stop bothering me.
And stop sending her videos and stuff. Like, what the fuck is wrong with
Sending her workout videos?
Yeah, no.
And diet recommendations?
And bitching about her in a meeting. Crazy. I know I said just tell her, but I 100% take them bitches to court if you can.
Yeah, because, she said she's talking to a employment lawyer, which is good. And also, is Aubrey, is she stupid? She was gone from work for a little bit, and she came back losing a bunch of weight. What do you think happened? Mm-hmm. Like, she thinks that she got, like, weight loss surgery. You don't know that. She's just assuming that.
Yeah.
And you know what they say when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me. And she's making a huge ass out of herself right now because she's assuming the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't understand this obsession with trying to get into other people's lives in these stories. Like, oh, I have to help you with this. Mm-hmm. I need to do this for you. No, I don't need you to do this for me. Go away.
Yeah, I agree. It is crazy. I'm more pissed. I don't like Audrey, and I'm also pissed. What is up with HR always failing at these things? That's your job, HR, is to help people with problems like this, and you're not. So what are you doing? Like, genuinely.
Yeah, I feel like that department is one of the most, like, I don't know what the correct term is, but one of the most common departments that people are like, you're not helpful.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Because I just hear so many stories of, like, HR, like, just it being a nightmare. Like, they don't actually care.
I think HR is more of a thing for the liability of the company itself, but they disguise it as, oh, we're human relations. We're here to help you. Mm-hmm. But I think what they're really there for is to help the company from possible litigation. Yeah. I think that's what they're really there for.
Yeah.
And they're disguised as people helpers. Mm-hmm. Anyways, there are 2 updates from this one. So this is update 2, or I guess update 1, but they call it 2. So they start with, all I have to say for this update is hold on to your banana pants.
I can't grab my pants quick enough.
All right. I saw a lot of comments asking where management was in all this, so I'll address that first. My boss, George, was getting ready to retire while this was going on. George is roughly my grandfather's age, so this entire situation bewildered both him and his replacement, who he was training at the time. Both of them met with Audrey's boss because, believe me, I was documenting everything she did from the jump, and they all assured me that Aubrey would be dealt with. None of them recommended the red flag mediation. That was HR's idea. I was given details of the meeting where Aubrey ranted about me and it was horrible. But apparently Aubrey was asked to leave by her own boss while several other employees told her to stop. So managerially and in the office in general, people were trying to rein her in from many different angles. HR is where the ball dropped and dropped hard. The company just has poor HR structure and bad entry to mid-level HR. When Aubrey's boss referred her to HR regarding her negative behavior, HR took it upon themselves to consider it a mediation situation, which, remember, at our company can go against your bonus for the year. Despite communication from George, his replacement, and Aubrey's boss saying I wasn't in the wrong. When George found out this, he spoke to HR generalist manager, who said that my absence probably caused a lot of strain and extra work for Aubrey, when Aubrey's not even credited to do what I do. Management made a point to tell me how baffled and upset they were with HR's handling of this situation every time something came up. My company mentor was also a huge support during this time until she decided to take another job elsewhere. When my doctor extended my ADA work from home accommodation a second time, HR responded by telling me my attendance was a concern. I emailed their boss's boss, the HR director, and asked for clarification. He said I hadn't come into the office, so of course my attendance was a problem. I reiterated I had medical documentation stating that if work from home wasn't available, then they could offer to the FMLA documentation my medical team also sent. He replied that medical documentation, including both FMLA and ADA reasonable accommodations, doesn't hold much weight with the company. Okay, so now they're just straight up breaking the law.
Yeah, I was going to say now they're just going against law.
So that's when I got a lawyer. Aubrey, as a problem, kind of drifted to the background when HR started their medical documentation doesn't matter campaign. On my lawyer's recommendation, I contacted the HR executive team, which is where this whole curse situation came to light. And I did check with my lawyer about emailing this update, and they laughed and said I couldn't leave people hanging after all that. She got lawyer's approval to post this update.
Hell yeah.
I called the chief HR officer, which for my company is going over like 5 people's heads. But I did it with George's and my new boss's blessings, who is the head of HR, and asked why my attendance was an issue when I had reasonable ADA documentation. She had no idea what I was talking about, so I filled her in on all of it, including the mediation meeting and Aubrey's harassment and the HR director, her direct report, saying medical documentation didn't hold any weight with the company. She was speechless and asked to meet with me and my lawyer as soon as possible. My lawyer hardly had to do anything during the meeting because the CHRO, it's a CHRO. Oh, Chief HR Officer. Okay. Because the CHRO was horrified at everything I told her. I've never actually seen steam come out of someone's ears, but if it was physically possible, it would have happened here. My lawyer didn't need to say a word, but just nodded and smiled when the CHRO offered an extended paid medical leave so I could handle my recovery, and said Aubrey constantly sending me fitness plans would be dealt with swiftly. I didn't hear anything out of Aubrey for a long time, but I did hear through some gossip channels that the HR staff involved in the red flag meeting / threatening to write me up were let go. Aubrey wasn't fired because they believe she was misled by HR. So I understand that part, even if I don't agree with it. But she was on a tight PIP for a while. Then, whoa. Okay, this is just a crazy sentence to put at the end of a paragraph. She says, then she showed up at my house.
No, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. What? She showed up at her. She better be apologizing.
Okay, let's see. Now we move from banana pants to full-on banana ensemble. I'm still on leave, and out of the blue, Aubrey showed up at my door on a weekend with 2 other women in tow, and the commenters guessed it. She's in very deep with an MLM, or maybe a cult. I can't be sure at this point. Aubrey came over to demonstrate some workout techniques and give me some diet supplement samples and discuss a career opportunity because she was worried about my physical and professional health. She didn't make it past my mother-in-law, who has been a godsend right now. My mother-in-law made it clear where Aubrey could stick her demonstration, and they left in a hurry. I notified my lawyer and the CHRO, and suffice to say, Aubrey is now a full-time wellness coach. I'm happy I went with my gut and got a lawyer because the company has changed so drastically over the last year with the toxic HR department encouraging behavior like Aubrey's and spreading false information about medical leave and time off. The company is almost unrecognizable. Also, with my boss and mentor both gone, I don't know if I'm going to go back once I'm medically cleared. The company is also undergoing a restructuring right now, and my department may end up distributed between other parts of the company or even other parts of the state. I have been looking at jobs and doing some resume drafting for a full-time remote position since it feels like it might be a better fit. But many thanks to the comment section and all the support.
Holy
Oh my God.
shit.
She showed up at her house to sell her a supplement. She was trying to sell
get
her
her
a
to join a
supplement.
fucking MLM. Oh my God.
Oh my God. This was an MLM scheme.
That's showing up with 2 other ladies is crazy. She got it off the work site, bro.
She got the address off the works. That's crazy.
I'm so glad that the HR and her, Audrey, were let go. But at the same time, I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Genuinely.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on with this company?
How the fuck did she get your address?
That the structure is so unorganized and toxic that this was allowed to happen. She caused a whole restructuring of the entire company, which may cause them to move her department and several others to another state.
Yeah. I'm so glad that I thought when she said that she went to like the head HR guy, I was like, so that's top of the chain is saying that about the medical leave.
And then it just, okay, also this like chain of like this HR person and then this one and then this one. Why are there so many people in this chain?
I was just thinking that. So that's why I was like, oh, so he's top dog saying it. Oh, she won that. And she's like, no, there's 5 other people above him. What the fuck do you mean there's 5 other people
That's
above
insane.
him?
Okay, and also she put this at the end of the paragraph. Then she showed up at my house. Like just so casually. And I'm like, whoa, that should have been the beginning of the next paragraph.
Yeah, by the way, she also showed up, but we'll get onto that.
That's crazy. All for an MLM supplement scheme. And she's a wellness coach. But guess what? We're not done. There's a final update. June 12th, 2023. That previous one was April 17th. So a couple months have passed. This is the final update. She says, I got an offer from a local company that's going fully remote with administration and management meeting up once a month. The salary was right. It's 90% remote. It's a good fit, so I'm happy with it. My role is HR adjacent as head of payroll. I report to the COO and was hired by the CEO and COO. I walk in to our first admin meeting, and who is sitting across from me but the HR director who told me medical documentation doesn't matter and orchestrated my red flag meeting. Let's call him Bob. Bob is the interim HR director for this company. Bob looked very uncomfortable when he saw me. We went through some employee files, including several who were on maternity leave and 2 who were injured on a job site. Bob got quieter as we began reviewing medical documentation and approving paid leave. I smiled, looked him in the eye every time I asked, and does Jill have her medical documentation? Great! Medical documentation holds a lot of weight. That's important stuff to have. He looked like he wanted to melt into his seat. At one point, he tried to argue against someone using their PTO to provide end-of-life care for a parent when they had ample PTO. I smiled and said, "You're right. Our employee support fund should cover half this time. It's a shame for them to have to lose all their PTO when they're obviously going to need it to heal and grieve over the next few months. Why don't you get me the paperwork for the support fund this afternoon? That's so generous. Everyone was happy and in agreement. He looked like he swallowed a lemon, but everyone was like, oh my God, Bob, how thoughtful. He had to eat it so bad and got me the documentation an hour later. Bob can suck it. Bob is also only a contractor, so he'll be moving on soon anyway. Medically, I'm doing better and very happy to move on from where I was. Aubrey's been full on radio silence, which is perfect for me. Thanks, AAM team and commenters. That's how did she run into the same guy?
That's crazy, but good for her. Good for her to be like, yeah, Bob, medical leave, eh?
That's really important documentation to have, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, it holds a lot of weight.
That is such a power move.
Literally.
Oh my God.
And it's not like he actually works there. He's a contract. So he's like hired for a little bit.
Yeah. So he's just like,
So he has to suffer through this.
So is she, so this is kind of implying that whatever this meeting was, she was like higher up than him in this.
Well, she probably would be because if he's a contractor, he's hired by the company just for like a short time.
Yeah.
So she said what she reports. So it's CEO, COO, and then her, I think is what she said.
Oh, she's head of payroll.
Yeah.
So
she is up there.
How the tables have turned.
Power move.
That's actually insane to walk in and he's there and be like, oh, I can boss you around now. And then he tried to deny some of these PTO so they could take care of their dying family member.
Yeah, that's crazy. See, this is why people hate HR. Because they do shit like that.
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I thought it was going to go south. I thought she was going to be like, yeah, he's like the CEO of HR. I'm under him now. And it's like, I got to leave now. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Oh my God. This is one of the best sagas I've ever read on here.
Literally. Like, what?
So, with that, on to our final story, which again comes from Best of Reddit Updates. Originally posted on Am I the Asshole? No, Ask a Manager this time. So the title reads, am I the asshole for ratting out my assistant/colleague and getting her fired to save my own job? I know how it sounds, but please read before you judge. I, 30-year-old man, worked at my current employer for 3 years. Last year, March of 2020, I received a promotion to project manager. In the beginning, everything went well, but in the last month, I've been getting more and more negative feedback. I did not understand what was going on or why people were becoming so negative about me. I was losing clients and several colleagues were really upset with me. I was at a loss. I started talking to my manager and my department head about following courses, getting monthly feedback to perform better. I just wanted to live up to the promotion I received. I felt like I was failing. Then a friend/colleague, 27-year-old woman of mine, came to me angry and demanded that I apologize for what I said. I was really confused and asked her why she was so upset with me. She explained she received an email where I was basically blaming her for the issues that I was dealing with. This was an email a client forwarded her. I was at a loss and explained I never send out an email like that and if she could show me. She did, and it had my name, my send address, and everything seemed like it was from me, but I never sent it. Then it clicked with me. My assistant, 39-year-old woman, has access to my email and has the ability to send as me. She's also the only one that has these rights. I was flabbergasted and so much started to make sense. She was next in line for my job and did not receive the promotion. I did. I checked all her sent mail on her PC while she was out for lunch and saw dozens of emails sent as if they were me. An email still open on the screen showed my email address and a written message to my clients with misinformation, passive aggressiveness, and straight up lies. These were sent out under my name. I made screenshots and sent them to myself. Then went to my manager and head of the department. They were pissed. She was fired that same day. I was relieved and all my colleagues were informed. I thought I was completely in the right here, but some people at work are complaining that I violated company policy for snooping on her PC and violating her privacy. My boss and direct colleagues have my back, but the people that know her, she has worked there since 2011 and I've only been there since 2018, say I went too far. Apparently, she's a single mother with 2 kids and needed this job. I also need this job, and she was more than willing to sacrifice me for her benefit. I don't see how I could be in the wrong for defending myself. Maybe I'm just too close to the situation to see it. Did I go too far by going on her PC?
Hell no. She had access to your email where she could pretend to be you. You have every right to go on her PC and get that evidence.
Okay. So, okay. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
So she has access to his email. He did go on her computer, but it's also a work computer.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know if she left her computer unlocked or if he had to like find out her password or something. I'm honestly kind of torn on this because going on somebody else's computer to find incriminating evidence is like, I feel like it's complicated because I feel like we're only like, yeah, of course he should have done that only because he found incriminating evidence. But if he did that and didn't find incriminating evidence, then it would have been like, oh, well, yeah, then he shouldn't have done that. I feel like he didn't have to do that because he already knew that she was the only one that had access. She could have just gone to his manager in the head or whatever and be like, I think she's doing this. And they could have looked at it and been like, oh, yeah, she is. She's fired. So I'm kind of torn on this because he didn't have to go on her computer, but he did. And he found evidence of her doing that.
You know, now that you've explained it like that, I think I agree with you now. Yeah, he should have gone to his boss and been like, hey, I had a coworker come in and say I sent this nasty email, and it was not me. And the only person who has access to this is my assistant. I have reason to believe that she may be sending these emails. Yeah, I agree. He probably should have gone that route.
But I don't think it rises to the level of asshole. It just rises to the level of you could have done this a little bit differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel differently about it because it's a work computer. It's not her personal computer, you know? So it's like there's other people that probably also use that computer, right? And they just log in their own account or whatever. So it's like it's a work computer. It's not her personal computer, so it's not as bad. But you still went into somebody else's account.
You know what this guy should have done? He should have asked the manager.
Yeah, he should have posted on askamanager.org.
Before he did this. No, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah. I think even if I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do, and if I, for some reason, left my computer unlocked and someone went on and they saw that I was doing that, I would agree that it is, yeah, I'm bogus because I was sending stuff like that. But it's also like, damn, bro, you just went on my computer.
Yeah. And it's also like, okay, what were the circumstances? Did he just happen to walk by her computer that had this email up already on the screen and it was like already unlocked? And then he went and looked at the other emails that she had sent. Or did he deliberately go over to her computer to look at her emails?
Probably the latter.
Because it said she had an email still open on her screen.
First of all, who the fuck does that? I never leave a draft on my screen.
Well, she's stupid for leaving her computer just open, but
yeah. But he should have escalated it in the right manner. Not, yeah, I agree though. I don't think he's necessarily the asshole for this though. Because I mean, they can do is they can go and confront her and be like, we need to have access to your computer and make sure, or they could fucking pull the shit from like, I'm sure your IT department or something could hop in there and be like, yeah, it was her sending
Yeah,
this.
because I'm like IT, like they can, I mean, at any company with decent IT infrastructure, they can just remote into the computer and look and look at the screen. So like,
I'm sure they can even see what computer sent a fucking email if they really wanted.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to find out.
Yeah.
So this person says, also, it wasn't her PC, it was the company's computer, so specifically not a personal computer. Many companies have the authority for a manager, supervisor, or superior of some form to access the company equipment if needed. You accessed her work accounts, which ended up being your own account. She was angering clients and your coworkers. Everyone who was mad at you should have been mad at her. Okay, so it is complicated for me because I'm like, okay, is she using her own account to somehow send emails in his name and his email, or is she actually using his account?
Just because it's a manager and then like an assistant to him, I'm going to assume she probably has. So like if they use Outlook, for example, you can change who is sending the email.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming that it is.
So I'm assuming that's what she is able to do. She's able to change it so it looks like he's sending the email with his email, his signature, all that, but it's her. But so I think it's her own account, but she can change who the sender is. to herself
that's
or him.
that's what I'm thinking. And also they bring up an interesting point. Okay, so is he like her manager? Because she's his assistant, right?
I would assume then, yes, he is her manager. But I
So
also assume in cases like this, you kind of almost have to have like a permission or like something written up where we have reason to believe I'm entering her computer.
That's what I'm like. I'm like, you should ask her about it. And then if she says no, then be like, okay, well, as your man, like, I'm going to have to make a report about this.
He should have done what the detectives do.
Yeah, caught her in a lie.
Yeah. So
and
did
then
you send emails pretending to be me?
Should have interrogated her first.
Yeah.
Left her in the room for 5 hours. And then
yeah. And like, so you're sending emails from me, right? She like, yeah. Have you sent any emails that are fraudulent, basically? No. Well, I get to check your computer in the next hour after it's approved by my boss, so.
He's saying, is he the asshole for like ratting her out and getting her fired?
No.
It's like he didn't get her fired. Her own actions got her fired.
What was he supposed to do?
What was he supposed to do? Keep letting it happen?
Yeah, no.
Like what are these other people on that like, oh, you took it too far? Like what?
They probably were like, you should have just talked to her. Like, I feel like that's the mindset they're in. You should have just confronted her about it and told her to stop. But it's like, by the way, she was writing mean emails about you guys and sending it to you guys. So it's not like she wasn't
just sending it to like clients. She was also sending it to people within the workplace, impersonating him. And it's causing, and not really bad, it's causing him to lose clients.
Yeah. And the respect for his position in the company.
Yeah, this is
like they're about to put him on a pit, bro.
Yeah. So there's a small update. No, actually, there's 2 updates. The first one's really short, though. He just says, they just let me know that they are holding a meeting to clarify exactly what happened. They were catching on to the people that weren't happy about her being fired, and they want to quell any issues before they start taking root. I'll update again once the meeting is over. It's an hour and 20 minutes from now. That's crazy to think that he's like updating this in real time. He's like, yeah, the meeting's in an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, it's in 45 minutes, guys. Okay,
I just got the email that I got the Zoom link.
So, final update from the next day. Meeting took about an hour and a half, and after that, I was in and out of talks with colleagues and other people. It was properly explained what she was doing and has done to me and the company. The attitude towards me noticeably changed in a positive direction, with a lot of people apologizing to me and explaining they've known her for years, were friends, and could not imagine she actually did something like this. Honestly, I'm happy it ended this way. HR and my boss really had my back here and preemptively handled to avoid any linger negativity. Nothing but praise for them. I've requested some time off, which was approved, and I'll be home for a week starting next week per my request/advice they are going to revise, or at least look at, the company policy regarding access to other people's emails and other security issues I've noticed. It'll probably be the last update for now. I might make an update post if anything significant happens. Thank you all again.
So they're reviewing the policy of going into someone else's.
No, I think they're reviewing the policy of like her being able to send emails
like have
in
access
his name.
to someone else's. Okay. I agree. I would hate if someone had access to my email, like where they could pretend to be me. One, because it's like, I don't know what you're sending. Like, I need to know what emails you're sending to people.
Yeah, I'm like, that's weird to be like representing somebody else in an email?
I guess I can understand if it's an assistant manager or like you're an assistant to the manager. Like if the manager's busy and they can't respond to like simple, quick emails, to have an assistant who's able to do that. I can understand that.
But why can't she just email them as, oh, I'm his assistant?
That is true. That is true. Well, it could be because, does she receive his emails then?
Well, he must. Well, she must if she's replying to the emails.
So they probably have a shared inbox.
Yeah, which is like, I don't think I would want that. I think this is the only story today where HR actually did something good.
I agree. From the get-go.
Yeah, they were on top of it in this, which is
surprising.
sadly surprising.
Yeah, I hate to say it. It was surprising though.
So they were the coworkers were saying, I can't believe you did that to her. She's a single mother and she needs this job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, okay, but she was trying to get a promotion at the detriment of somebody else who also needs this job.
And first of all, what was she gonna do? Come in as the knight in shining armor and
be like, look at these emails he's sending.
Yeah. Or be like if he is fired because of it and she gets the job, what is she gonna do? Go and get all the clients back, convince them to come back?
Be like, oh yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
You can come to me.
So it sounds like she was like setting it up so if she got the job, she could almost go back and like retrieve these clients.
But I don't think that's how it works. If people have a bad experience with a company, they're not going to work with that company.
But I feel like
anymore.
that's like the mindset she's in of, because it's like, okay, you're not just fucking him over, you're fucking the company over and possibly your job.
Yeah, that you're trying to get a promotion in.
Yeah, because if you replace him, right, all the clients out there already have this perception that your company sucks. So when you start reaching out to them, they're immediately not going to go, oh, it's a new person. They're going to be like, oh, it's some other bitch.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not going to be positive.
And also she kind of in a way emotionally manipulated this guy because she made him think that he was doing something wrong. And it's like, why does everyone hate me now? When she was sending these emails as him behind his back to all the clients and all the employees and making this guy go crazy. Like, why does everyone hate me all of a sudden?
How crazy would it be, right, to walk into work and everyone's just like glaring at you and you're like,
what did I do?
Good morning. How's it going? Everyone's just not talking to you. Everyone's cold, mean to you. And it's just like, what the fuck happened? And then to have a coworker come in and confront you and be like, I can't believe you said that about me. Said what? I just said good morning.
Yeah, and also, how did she think she was not going to get found out when she's sending emails to other employees as him? Do you think they weren't going to confront him about it? And he's going to be like, what are you talking about? I never said that.
Yeah, or take it to HR. You really think HR, they're going to investigate? I mean, that's usually what HR does. They look into things hopefully they look into things before they jump on it.
Yeah, so I don't know what her game plan here is just non-existent.
I think she was probably just so blinded by like her upset that she didn't get the position.
Yeah, so in a fit of rage.
Yeah, she basically was just acting irrational because she was upset she didn't get the job she wanted. And probably to her, which I feel like this does happen. It happens a lot I hear stories all the time about this of like parents who are like, I want your PT. The time you have scheduled for PTO, you should actually let me have that week off because I have kids.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of people are in that mindset. So she probably was like, I need this job more, this promotion more because I have to support my kid. I need it over this dude because he doesn't need the money and I need it. Like, I feel like that's a mindset a lot of people are in.
Yeah, it is.
Where it's like, I don't care that I'm not fit for the job. I need the promotion and the money more.
I deserve it more.
Yeah.
Because I have kids.
Yeah.
Because I decided on my own free will to have kids.
Yeah.
I deserve it more.
Yeah. So I feel like that's probably also just because what the coworkers were saying of, she needs this job. She's a single mom. She probably was telling them this. Like she was probably telling them, I needed this, or like I needed that promotion, or I need this job to get like sympathy.
Alrighty, so those are our all right, so those are our coworker stories. Some crazy stories. That fourth one, with the MLM scheme and the showing up at her house, and then the HR guy showing up again. That's actually insane to say to someone. Yeah, those ADA documents and FLMA documentation, that doesn't really hold any weight at this company.
It doesn't court though.
I'm sure when she told the lawyer that he said that, the lawyer was just foaming at the mouth because he's like, "Oh, we've got this."
This is an open and shut case, bro. And you got that in email? Oh my god.
You have it in writing? Oh my god. Probably had like
creamed his pants.
If anyone's a lawyer out there, let us know if you cream your pants when you hear a good lawsuit.
Yeah. Please and thank you.
And with that, that's it. So anyways, guys, remember to like, subscribe, comment down below other topics you'd like to see in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in next week's episode.